Hi. Yeah, I'm really sorry, but today I don't have any technical content for you. Instead, I will talk about some political stuff. And I know I'm a tech channel. I want to teach you about technology and how to program and do stuff on Linux. But this year I felt the need of talking about politics and talking a little bit about my view on politics because I'm really concerned and afraid about this year's election in Germany. I will promise you political content will be the absolute exception here on my channel, and I hope after this video I can continue showing you how to program on Linux instead of talking about politics. But this year I really felt the need for doing such a video. So let's get it done and let's start. So why am I so concerned about this year's election? Well, basically because we have a far-right political party in Germany which is extremely successful. Not only are they scoring the second highest results in our polls, they're about 20% now, no, they're also dominating the topics which are discussed for this election. And their main topic is migration politics. And here I have an image for you showing you basically everything you need to know about their politics in migrations. So what you can see here are fake tickets out of Germany. And in one city, this party put these fake tickets into the mailboxes of people whose name didn't sound German enough for them. So what they're telling these people is, we want you out of our country. And they don't care if the people have a German citizenship, if they're working in this country, if their kids go to school here, if they have families and friends here, or if they're living here for more generations. No, they are telling you, you're not German enough for me, you have to leave this country. And I think this is disgusting. I also think this is reminding us of our darkest times in German history, and I don't want these times to repeat. But the biggest problem is not only one party is demanding such stuff. No, the big problem is other parties are adapting to the strategy. And they are also, so basically the Conservative Party, the Liberal Party, the Social Democrats and the Green Party, currently they're all talking about how to get people out of Germany. And I think, so they're also making this migration topic a bigger topic. But the big problem with migration is it isn't something you can just fix with one law. No, it's a very complex topic. So currently we're discussing the demand to just close the border so no one can get into Germany. But it's not doable, and I will tell you two reasons why it's not doable. So first thing, Germany is part of the European Union. And one thing which makes the European Union so great is that you can travel between the country of the European Union without being controlled at the border. Because maybe if you're a little bit older and you're living in Europe, you know these border controls took a lot of time to get past them. So this freedom to travel between the countries of the European Union is not only great if you are on vacation and you want to visit another country. No, for a lot of people who are living near the border, it's also extremely important because they're living in one country but working in a different country. And as the economy in Germany is not the baddest or quite good compared to other European countries, even if we are facing some troubles currently, a lot of people travel to Germany every day to work here. And if we would close the border, their way to work would be longer and harder. And maybe some people will say, okay, if I can't get into Germany now, then I will work in my country. But this would be very important for the German economy, who basically needs these people because we have too few people doing all the jobs we have to do. So this is one reason why closing the border would be a bad idea. But there is also a second reason, and this is very simple. We just don't have enough people working at the police to secure our border. So we have a very long border and we can't put a policeman or woman every 10 meters of our border. We simply don't have so much policemen and women. And even the police is telling the politics they don't have the capacities to control the border. So, okay, of course you can demand such things, but you're lying to the people because it's just not doable to do it in such a way. And the only thing you could do is you could build a wall around Germany, but we also tried this in our history and it also didn't work so well. And the problem is that a lot of topics which are also important and could be solved more easily than this whole migration thing are not discussed or barely discussed for this election. Let me give you an example. Here in Germany we have a housing crisis. So if you want to move to a bigger city and if you have to rent an apartment, good luck finding an affordable one. So we have built far too low flats and apartments, especially for lower income people, and this has led to a housing crisis. So currently some people have to pay 50% or more of their income for housing, for a rent. And this is incredible because having a roof over your head is an extremely basic human need. And this housing crisis also impacts another thing, which is very bad here in Germany. It's the wealth inequality we have here in Germany. So here I found a chart from middle of 2020, which is showing you how wealth is distributed within our country. And the situation from that time did even get worse over the last 4.5 years. But here you can basically see the top 1% of the German population owns over a third of the total wealth. Then the total or the top 10% of the German population owns over 2/3 of the wealth of the country. And you can see the bottom 90% only owns about 1/3. Maybe let's see. Yes, here you can see the bottom 50% of the population in Germany only owns 1.4% of the total wealth in this country. And the housing crisis we have talked before is also impacting that because the top 10 or 20%, they are owning houses or flats which they're renting, or they're owning stocks from companies who are renting apartments to people. And because of this incredibly high housing prices and rents, the wealth from the bottom is transferred to the top. And this is a big problem because of two things. So first, the lower half of the population, which basically owns nothing, they're getting angry and they're feeling the political system is not working for them, which is not so good for democracy. And the another problem is that the people on the top, or who have a lot of wealth, also gain a lot of political power. Because if you're wealthy, you can afford lobbyists, you can afford media campaigns, and you can push the topics you think are important for you. The problem is, these topics might not be important for our whole population or might be even damaging for our whole population. So it's very important to tackle this wealth inequality shown here. So what do the parties want to do against it? Well, here on this chart you can see to whom the parties want to give tax breaks. So here we have small incomes, middle incomes, and high incomes. And you can see here the liberal, the far right, and the conservative party in Germany, they only want to give tax breaks to medium to high incomes. And only the left parties like the Social Democrats, the Green, our left-wing party, and how to describe this party is a little bit hard. Yeah, but this party here, they want to give tax breaks to low and medium incomes. And the problem is with these tax breaks from the conservative, liberal, and far-right party, this situation here will even get worse. And I don't think we can afford to make this situation here even worse. But now let's talk about another topic which doesn't play a very big role in this year's election. And this is climate change and what we want to do against climate change. So this year in Bavaria, where I live, last year, we had big floods here. And basically in Germany, we have some climate crisis ongoing every year. So a few years ago, we had this big flood at the northwest of Germany, which also was very bad, which caused a lot of damage and cost a lot of people's lives and also a lot of money to rebuild everything. But this is getting the norm, and we are not talking about climate change at all in this election. But of course, yeah, climate change isn't also a topic which can be solved alone by us. But one important thing we would have to do is we have to transform our energy system away from fossil fuels to renewable energy. And this wouldn't only make our impact on climate change better or less, it would also make our dependencies from other countries smaller, because most of our fossil fuels we don't have here in Germany, we have to buy them from other countries. And the problem is, in a lot of these countries where we are getting our fossil fuels from, they simply don't have the best situation about human rights. And I don't think it's a good idea to be dependent on such countries. So we saw it when Russia invaded or tried to invade the Ukraine. We see how dependent we are on Russian gas and oil. And if we would change to renewable energies a longer time ago, we wouldn't be so dependent on Russians' oil and gas, and it would give us a better position to support the Ukraine, for example. And these were just a few examples about topics which are important from my point of view, but which are not discussed in or within this year's election. Of course, we have a lot of other problems which are also relevant and important. For example, our crumbling infrastructure we have to rebuild, or our medical crisis we have. So a lot of people don't get the Medicare they need. We also have the problem that our retirement system needs to be reformed. And also we have a war ongoing here in Europe. And of course, the support for the Ukraine is also an important topic. But at least from my point of view, the only topic which is really discussed a lot is the topic about migration. So what can we do about it? Bottom line, we need to create a country which works for all of us and not just the few on the top. And another important thing, if you're living here in Germany, please get out next week on Sunday and vote. And of course, it would be best if you would vote for one of the left parties or more progressive parties, because as you can see here, very good in the wealth inequality, the conservative, the far-right, and the liberal party will only make things worse. So yeah, that's it for today. Thanks for listening to my political views. I would be interested what you think about it, so please let me know that in the comments down below. And yeah, I think that's it for today. Thanks for watching and goodbye.